So who continued to work together even after their romance had ended? It was Elizabeth Hurley and Hugh Grant.
You're watching The Right Stuff live on 5 with our special guests Chris Parker, Carol Thatcher and Dominic Holland, all present and correct. Still to come, do men have suspicious minds? More suspicious than you girls? 0207 173 5555 is the number if you've got something to say. And, of course, you can still be free or allowed to use the phone. But first, living and working with your lover. Do you have to be a special person to pull that off? You know, being stuck together 24/7? Does it spell doom for a relationship if you do it for too long? According to one lawyer we spoke to, who specialises in corporate finance, about half the small businesses he deals with are run by couples. And I was surprised by this. He reckons they have a higher than average success rate at making their business work. I thought it was astonishing, because I just can't understand how you can avoid cracks appearing in either your business or in your bedroom. And I really am a great believer that a little absence makes the heart grow fonder. Mind you, Richard and Judy, still going strong after 26 years. Paul Daniels and Debbie McGee, they've done 29 years, hard time. While the Crankies, oh Christ, have been living and working together for about 40 years. Fun dummy dogs. Oh, I can see. You gave us swearing. I can see the pluses. Working with someone you trust towards a common goal, someone who truly gets it when you've had a hard day at the office. I suppose it's one way as well of making sure your partner isn't having an affair with a workmate. But then surely there's something to be said for having maybe your own career, time away from your partner each day. If you have a row, you know, get away. Everyone needs a bit of independence, don't they? I mean, can you really switch out of work mode if you come home to the person you've spent all day at the office with? Isn't there a danger you're just going to end up talking about work all the time instead of whispering sweet nothings? Now, if you've been following BBC Two's brilliant series The Restaurant, I mean, you know I'm a big fan, you'll also know loved up couple Michelle and Russell won on Wednesday night. They're going to go into business together with super chef Raymond Blanc. Have a butcher's at this. Oh, no! First of all, Michelle Russell, from the bottom of my heart, congratulations. I think it's an amazing achievement. But tell me, you can't be that lovey-dovey all the time, can you?
I think they might have hammed it up slightly.
Now, I mean, we're talking a little bit about the restaurant in a moment. I want to get this living and working together, because you've actually been doing it for a while.
That's right, yeah. Before the series, we've been working 2 years together in our own business. And actually, it was really extreme because not only be working together and being a couple, but the work was in our home as well. So
you're indoors 24/7 with each other for two years?
Rarely leave the house.
Do you ever have rows?
We do have rows, but they're more... You know when everything gets too much and you get frustrated, so you have to have a little shout?
Yeah.
Well, I do anyway. And so you have a little shout, but then actually it's usually not about anything, and you'll realise afterwards and it'll be like, yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Or just carry on.
I think the key is just not holding on to things, you know? You have a row,
you struck me as an extraordinarily calm person. I mean, the stuff that's being thrown at you in the kitchen, it's hard for all the couples and for both parties, but it did strike me that you are particularly calm. Do you think that if you had a hotter temper that it would still be as easy?
Yeah, I think, you know, that is a characteristic of mine. I do stay calm under pressure, and I'm sure that helps in any relationship, really. And I tend, you know, I've looked back through my career, I tend not to have fights with anyone at work. You know, if there's a problem, we'll just deal with it. So yeah, I guess that is important, and if you had a hotter temper, it might not help.
He's very patient with me, especially when I help him in the kitchen.
It's shone through on the TV. I mean, you're not hot-tempered, you're not a firebrand yourself, but Russell struck me as being particularly calm. Just one more from me, the panel can have a go. But do you know? You must end up talking about work all the time, don't you?
Well, that can be a problem, and you know, because you know you are living and working together, and things can take over. And we did find for a while that we'd do nothing else but talk about work. So I think it's really important to set kind of time aside and say, okay.
Do you have a rule then?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if we go out somewhere, that's it. You know, no work talk. It doesn't matter how important you think it is, because, you know, nothing at work is that important that it has to get in the way of your home life.
You go to a restaurant, though, don't you?
Never.
Does it make your business sort of vulnerable? Because we all know couples split up. So, for example, if your business is a raging success, which we all hope it is, what would happen if the love waned? Could you carry on working together?
Do you know what? I think working together pushes you closer. Well, I guess it can work either way. You're either made to work with each other or you're not. But I find that working together has made our relationship stronger and put us closer together.
But in the instance, though, of a couple who were working together and their love did wane, do you think that they'd be able to ignore that and carry on working professionally?
I guess that depends on the situation.
Yeah, that's
Probably not, I would
think that would be a
suggest.
difficult situation.
Therefore, vulnerable business.
Do you go on holiday together as well, or does one of you go to Bali and the other goes to Skegness just to get some personal time apart?
Do you know, we're really sad. We do absolutely everything together. We go to the gym together, then we go to the spa together. We spend all our time together. It's very rare that we're further away than this.
Yeah.
Is it not
Really?
claustrophobic? Is it honestly not occasionally claustrophobic? I admire you.
I do too.
I couldn't possibly do it.
I think we're just, you know, we're lucky to have found, you know, two people that go so well together, and to find that. And you know, I'm not so naive to think that isn't a rare thing to find.
But what if you have kids? How are they going to fit into this cosy equation?
Get them cooking.
You might love it.
We'll get bunnies instead.
Have you ever done it? Have you ever sort of tried to work with a partner?
No, I think it'd be really hard, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Richard and Judy do it. I don't know how they do it, because on TV they're at each other's, you know, heads the whole time. But what about your friends? Do you? Because my housemate's, like, literally not seeing his friends at the moment because he's got a new girlfriend. Do you still see your friends?
Yeah,
do you have time for them?
Yeah, you have to make time for that, and, you know, you go and visit your friends.
Friends of both of us, though, aren't
Sure.
they, really?
And how long were you dating before you started the business?
We've been together 6 years, so about 4 years.
But we met each other and we moved in together within about a month, didn't we? And we've kind of been
You guys
inseparable
absolutely
since the
have
day
to
we
stay
met.
together.
Yeah. You better beware.
We
of
start
the
panicking if we...
Stay having so many cheerful songs on this thing. That's your restaurant.
Determined to
Got
split
loads
us
of
up
them here.
before we leave the studio.
Listen, we'll take some calls and we'll come back to you and talk a little bit about the restaurant in a minute. But I don't know whether they're the most remarkable couple I've ever met or what. Let's hear it from you. Living and working together. Your thoughts, Amy?
Okay, I'm doing that at the minute, actually.
Oh, yeah?
I'm kind of outside of this, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we're kind of working on something together. And you do have to make sure that you make time for other things outside of it, so otherwise it's just, that's all that it is, so...
What are you going out with then? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we're working on a music website together, so
Okay.
check it out. Anyway, in it. Our first caller worked with her partner as well. He's Anne on line 2.